Hey gamers, it's G from the corner. You know, it's been a very interesting few days of being a Nintendo fan. I thought I knew exactly what they were planning, what they were cooking for the next year or so, but just the rug feels like it's just been pulled under me. I am completely in a different train of thought. Like now I kind of just want to talk about like what's going on right now, like Nintendo Music. I'm sure a lot of you saw this. I had heard rumblings about this in the days, not the days, like the hour or two leading up to it, and not like insider info. I don't know. Nobody reaches out to the corner with detail or something. I'd been seeing rumblings online and what people were saying, and I was kind of speculating. Okay, something like this could be cooking up. It could be coming up real soon. And lo and behold, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I took a gander at my phone and saw Nintendo Music pop up. What is Nintendo Music? It is Nintendo Spotify that you pay for with your NSO subscription. Basically, anybody who is paying for Switch Online now has access to this app that will feature plenty of Nintendo games with their entire soundtracks that you can just listen to. It's a very interesting app. People have forever wanted Nintendo Music on like Apple Music and Spotify, apps like that where you can just stream music. Everybody else put their music on there. It's not like, Nintendo is competing with Apple Music or something, at least until now. They could just put, Mario, Zelda, and Kirby soundtracks on there like, nobody's business. They could have done that easily, but instead of doing that, they just kind of kept, releasing Japanese CD soundtracks every once in a while, and then there's like the odd instance or two where they actually did put a song up as purchasable on like iTunes or something. I remember like Kirby Planet Robot soundtrack was there. A lot of Pokemon soundtracks went there for a while. I think even Mario Odyssey got like a little sampler. It was like 10 songs they threw up on iTunes. I think I bought a few back in the day even. But, nowadays it's like, okay, come on, like nobody really buys digital music anymore. Everybody just pays for one of the streaming services because literally everything goes on there. It's not even a question of will this album be there. No. Like the album releases on iTunes and Spotify as in like Apple Music. You can listen to it on your streaming service. Like that is where we are at with music, which is really interesting to me. I don't know exactly how the music industry treats royalties and like stuff like that. I'm not sure if this is a good thing for them or a bad thing, or like if it's just as bad as games and film streaming where it's like they're kind of, people aren't getting paid properly. But I'm not exactly sure how it works, honestly. So I'm not going to try and speak on behalf of that. But what I do know is that Nintendo has a lot of has the highest number of game soundtracks that people would want to listen to that I could think of. So yeah, this makes sense, I guess. Like, I mean, you download the app, you get it for free. I have it. I've been using it for the past like 3 days now. And what do I think of it? I think it's cute. I think it's really cute. The actual setup is really nice. They have all these pre-made playlists, and most songs at least, on the game soundtracks have individual screenshots the devs took just to like use. Like, oh, this song is, this is the song. Like, they'll have, like, names of the songs, like, not just location song plays it as its name, like, the actual name of the song that the devs have given to it, and they'll have, like, an individual photo for it. I think it's really useful because a lot of people don't know what this song actually is referring to, so they just have a screenshot of a shot in the game when that song plays. I think that's really cool, right? I think in general, honestly, it's a really great... It's a good format, right? They launched it with 20 games off the bat, and... depending on that game selection, I feel like would make or break it for me. I'd be like, okay, do they know what they're doing? One of the first games they put were Wii channels. So the home menu, the check me out channel, the me channel, the Wii shop channel, the forecast channel, those were all there day one. And I mean, like, everybody loves their ambient, chill Nintendo menu music. Everybody loves the Wii shop channel and Me Maker music. So having those there right from launch, I feel like that shows to me that they know what they're doing here. There's also a lot of Switch games, which, I mean, good thinking there. Those are some of your biggest soundtracks. Most of the Switch games they picked have well over 100 songs, so that's quite a lot. But my immediate red flag, like, this is a cute setup, this is a cute format, I really like this. I already made I made a little Halloween playlist right before Halloween with all the songs that they had up there at the moment. But my one concern is the drip feed. Is this going to be like NSO, where we only get one new game or a few new games every like month, maybe, if we're lucky? And that would be such a travesty. An app like this, see, the idea of the drip feed is that for a games or stream, or at least for Nintendo Online, they would keep you coming back to it by adding new games every, month or so. You'd boot it up and you play the new game, and then you're like, that was cute. Okay, now I'm done, right? But the thing with music is that music is so just consumable. Music is something that we listen to all the time. I'll throw on music while I'm working, driving, doing literally anything, right? So it's like, everybody wants having new music is always such a nice feeling. It's like, oh, I get to do all my daily routines with a new song playing in the background. That's so cool, right? And, in my mind, I genuinely believe that like a proper update schedule would be like 3 to 5 games 3 times a week. That might sound like a lot to some people, but like some of these games are big, right? But they don't have to all be crazy big games, You could have a Game Boy game, a Wii game, and a Switch game, something like that, Not those exact consoles, but obviously in that ballpark. Nintendo has already given us a taste, actually. That's why I didn't want to do this video right away, because I wanted to see at least how it played out. Nintendo has given us a taste of how the service is going to be handled. We have already gotten, what's it called? The Mario Wonder soundtrack. Literally the next day, the day after the app released, they added a new game. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, crap. Daily updates. That's so cool. One game a day, even if it's a small one, would be so amazing. Then they said that the next update will be coming next week. And they keep saying from time to time, and it's like that's a very from time to time is so bad, is such a bad window to give, because that could mean literally anything. That could mean like every week, every 2 weeks, every month, But they did say next week will be the next update, and now if it's just one game next week, I feel like huge, major disappointment. But like if it's multiple games, I'll be fine, 5 games a week, I think, is my bare minimum, honestly. For this to be a success, for this to be cool, I think it should be 10 games a week. And some people keep saying stuff like, oh, but they gotta keep people wanting to come back. And I mean, like, that's not the point. That's not the point of music subscription services, man. Like, other subscription services, you just hop onto, and there's always a boatload of stuff. This isn't NSO. This isn't something that's a freebie with online. I mean, it is a freebie with online, but it is literally a separate app. And Nintendo is telling people that you can, on the FAQ, there's literally a spot that says, do I need a Switch to use the app? No, you don't. You just need an online subscription. So they're telling people, hey, why don't you just pay for this app on its own as your NSO subscription? Your $25 a year, that should just be for this app. And I feel like there's gotta be more on it than just 20 games, right? Like 1 game a week, if it's a big game, that's cool, but they're gonna add those NES and Game Boy games with like 5 songs at some point. So don't be like, here's a game a week, and for like 3 weeks in a row we get a Game Boy game with 5 songs. That'd be so stupid. That'd be so stupid. They showed a lineup of games that they were planning to add. I mean, they just showed like 5 random ones, like Mario 64, Skyward Sword, Wind Waker. Wonder wasn't even on that list, but they added that before anything else. I don't know. I think it's a cute app. I think the idea of dropping a new game every week, twice a week, a few games a week, something like that, and making it be I'm gonna go boot up the app and see what soundtrack they dropped. I am a video game music enjoyer, so to speak. My music tastes are not just that. All right, I like other music. I'm not one of those guys. All right, I've grown as a person in the last decade, but I will say the idea of getting, Nintendo soundtracks that either I've listened to a ton through other means in the past, or Nintendo soundtracks that I've never actually bothered taking a gander with. The Ocarina of Time soundtrack is here, and while I have played that game, a lot of the music is kind of fresh to me. I haven't listened to it too much outside of actually having played the game. When they add stuff like Xenoblade, I'll definitely give that soundtrack a listen. I've never played any of the Xenoblade games. I'd love to hear the music. People rave about it so much, I guess there is one big flaw I should bring up. There is no composer credits, which is just so So stupid. I feel like they meant to put those in, honestly, or they just completely forgot about putting those in, because there's literally a section on, like, you boot up the app and you click a song, there's a track information section. All it says is, oh, copyright Nintendo, name of the song, name of the game. That information is viewable from literally anywhere, and it's so minuscule. It's like, bro, where are the composer listings, right? I've tried using the app on CarPlay, and literally it just whenever it boots up, it literally just, it shows the name of the song and the name of the game. It's like, dude, come on, where's the composer credits? I feel like this is such an oversight. They'll probably add it in within a month, guaranteed. But man, like, if you're gonna drip feed, people are saying, oh, they can't just put the files up, they have to make the playlists and all the individual thumbnails. If you're gonna go through the trouble of doing that, then give me the damn composers. Like, seriously? You're gonna do all this, make this entire amazing app, but you're just gonna be like, oh, everything is by Nintendo, nobody else, like, not even a Koji Kondo mention. Like, come on, guys. This is a bit ridiculous. I guess to wrap things up, what games do I want to see get added? I thought the starting lineup was honestly fantastic. A lot of Switch games, so you have a lot of just value right there. You know, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, not the best soundtrack, but still. They picked Kirby Star Allies as the Kirby game, which, you know, some people will say, why not? Why that one? That's the worst one. But that is actually the best Kirby game you could probably pick, because it has by far the largest soundtrack. There's plenty of old tracks from older titles, and it has, in my opinion, one of, if not the best soundtracks in the entire franchise. Like, the music in Star Allies is so good. So good. So I'm very happy to see it there day and date, right? You know, considering the Xenoblade X announcement, I'm surprised that soundtrack or some Xenoblade soundtrack wasn't already added, but I feel like by year's end, there will be at least one of the Xenoblades with its soundtrack on here. Beyond that, but they also put Mario Galaxy, which is very good. I love Galaxy 2's soundtrack. I think that soundtrack's a little better. There's a lot of songs from Galaxy 1 they fully orchestrated into, and they sound fantastic. What else beyond that? Oh, man. You know, I would love more Pokemon. Obviously, X and Y, I think... X and Y I'm so nostalgic for, so I want to see those soundtracks. I'm sure they'll... I would love, like, updates alongside little news drops. Like, let's say we get a Direct and they announce a new game in a certain series. Bam! Throw that soundtrack on instantly. You know, one game series I know is going to be hard to put on here would be the Smash Brothers series, since there's all this licensing involved. But what I do want, hands down, they need to do this ASAP. They got to put the Melee soundtrack on here, because the Melee soundtrack is so good, and it's all... The Melee remixes and original music is all amazing and iconic, and, you know, it's all Nintendo stuff, so there's no copyright issues. Obviously, I want more Kirby, Forgotten Land, Return to Dreamland. Those would be fantastic. Epic Yarn 2, from Zelda. I'd like, you know, maybe Minish Cap. That music's always very chill. The Echoes of Wisdom soundtrack is incredible. I would love to have that on here as soon as possible. Man, what else? You know, I'm surprised we didn't get Luigi's Mansion for Halloween. I love the Wario World soundtrack. It's a weird one to bring up, but, like, that soundtrack just hits, man. Sin and Punishment Star Successor also has a good... I'm just throwing out random-ass games at this point, but literally, they have the Wii channels. Throw on the 3DS eShop and system music. Throw on the Wii U system music. They gotta do that at some point. What other Nintendo franchises can I think of right now? There's Fire Emblem, but only the Game Boy one. I haven't played too many of them, but I know Awakening has a very good soundtrack. I'd love to see that on here very soon. There's actually no 3DS games. None at all. Tomodachi Collection is on here, which is very funny to me, but not Tomodachi Life. Put Life on here. Life should be on here. Beyond that, I don't know. I'm kind of running dry on suggestions. One more game suggestion that I'll be, like, very, very happy to see on here. We already got New Horizons. I'm thinking. 3D World. There's no Wii U games. Where's 3D World? 3D World soundtrack slaps so hard. I don't know how they mistook putting that soundtrack on here. There's one more I'm thinking of. There's, like, I feel like I had more ideas. I'm gonna stop recording, and I'm gonna have a million ideas. I'm gonna be like, why didn't I say those? Damn it! That's exactly what happened with the Legend ZA Mega Evolutions discussion video. I think that's all the ones I wanted to say. Yeah, I don't know. App's cute. You know, I'm down for more in the future, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Keep yourselves cornered for more Nintendo gaming Switch coverage, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.